Walking is key to changing your body composition and melting body fat for good. And after hitting 10,000 steps per day for 180 days, I can tell you that it works. I went from this to this. And it's what I've used as a coach to help men lose fat and keep it off. In this video, I'm going to share the tips and tricks that make it work. So getting lean becomes easier and you don't have to suffer through the process. Let's start with the foundations, and to do that, we need to answer the question, why does this work? The answer lies in CICO, calories in, calories out. The idea is simple. If you place yourself in a calorie deficit, meaning you burn more calories than you consume, there is more energy going out than coming in. So, eventually, you will lose fat. And my favorite way to increase calorie expenditure is through walking. So the question becomes, how much walking should you actually do? To make this work properly, we need to set a daily step goal. 10,000 steps per day is that sweet spot where it's not a burden to achieve and almost anyone can reach it if they commit to it. To get started, be honest with yourself and set a daily step goal that you know you can consistently hit. From there, gradually increase it over time until you reach 10,000 steps. From what I've seen with myself and my clients, 15,000 steps is about the upper limit. Beyond that, it becomes much harder to stay committed and the returns start to diminish. And the number of calories you burn from those steps depends on your pace, height, body weight, whether you are walking uphill, and several other factors. So, please, forget about trying to figure out exactly how many calories you are burning from tracking tools, because they are not very accurate. And that brings us to the next question. Is walking enough to make a meaningful difference in fat loss? To put things into perspective, 1 pound of body fat stores roughly 3,500 calories. That means losing 2 pounds requires about a 7,000 calorie deficit. If 10,000 steps burn around 300 to 500 calories per day, that's enough to lose roughly 1 pound of fat every week. Now, before you get too excited, there is something important we need to talk about. Walking helps create the calorie deficit, but nutrition still plays a massive role. If we are stepping more while we are eating more, we won't see visible results. I'm not saying that you must track your calories, although it's effective. I'm saying that if you want to see progress from walking alone, you need to make sure you are not increasing the amount of calories you are currently eating. So, make sure you are eating a high-protein diet and focusing mostly on whole foods. Now, you might be thinking, why not just do more cardio instead? And that's a fair question. Look, there are plenty of ways to do cardio that burn more calories per minute than walking, but they come with a huge downside. They require more recovery. Depending on the amount and type of cardio, they can also put a lot of stress on your tendons, ligaments, and joints. Plus, if you are doing cardio alongside resistance training, it can hurt your performance and make recovery harder. Running in particular can increase your risk of injury if you are overweight. At the end, it all comes down to your goals. If you want to build muscle while getting lean, increasing your daily steps is often a better approach than adding more cardio. But none of this matters if you are not consistent with it. And the easiest way to stay consistent is to track what you are doing. Look, nothing beats consistency. And to ensure that, you need to track your daily steps. The best way to do that is with a smartwatch, because it follows you everywhere. The next best option is a smartphone, although you might forget to carry it with you. And if you don't have either, a good rule of thumb is that about 10 minutes of walking at a steady pace equals roughly 1,000 steps. But remember, what gets measured gets improved. Track your steps and your body weight, and over time, if possible, gradually increase your daily step count. One of the great things about walking is the accountability it creates. So, the next question becomes, how do you actually get all those steps in without feeling like you are constantly walking? Because the difference between 4,000, 10,000 and 15,000 steps per day often comes down to your habits. To make it work for me, I look for simple ways to add more steps throughout the day. That might be taking a 10-minute walk after each meal, making phone calls while walking, and doing the same when replying to messages, listening to a podcast or audiobook and heading outside, spending quality time with friends, family, or my partner, or my favorite, adopting a dog and enjoying walks together. That's a win-win. And the biggest game changer for me has been having a standing desk and a walking pad. I use them almost every day while working on low-focus tasks. This is what my clients and I do, but there are plenty of other habits you can build to increase your daily step count. Be creative and adapt them to your own circumstances. But here's the thing, none of those habits are special. What matters is finding a few that fit naturally into your life and sticking with them. And here's one of the most important pieces of advice I can give you. Don't try to do everything at once. If you do, it will feel like a burden. You won't be able to build a habit and it will be almost impossible to stay consistent. The key to progress is building habits that last. So, be specific, decide exactly when and how the habit will happen, and create an actionable plan. That's when it becomes real. That's when it becomes part of your schedule. And if you miss a day, that's fine. Just get back on track tomorrow. Now that we have covered how to increase your daily steps, let's talk about what kind of results you should realistically expect. Your goal should be to lose somewhere between 0.5% and 1% of your body weight per week. Let's do the math. If you weigh 200 pounds, that means losing around 1 to 2 pounds per week. And walking can make that goal much easier to achieve. But fat loss isn't the only reason I recommend walking. In fact, some of the biggest benefits have nothing to do with calories. One of the things I love most about walking is that it helps me clear my head, stay relaxed, and sleep better. These benefits become even greater when you walk in nature. See the blue sky, feel the sun on your skin, and spend time around trees and green spaces. It can significantly reduce stress and leave you feeling refreshed and recharged. And while walking is incredibly powerful, there is one more thing I want you to do if your goal is to build a great looking body. Make sure you are doing resistance training at least twice per week. It will help you get better results, improve your health, and enhance the way you look. And if you are into this kind of content, subscribe for more. Happy walking!